He doesn't panic, he laughs, he smiles. He feels right at home.
Do it again, Goose.
Boy, if I was to do that, I would get banned off Twitch. Man, that'd be the last day y'all heard from Stanley Live, Stanley Animation, man. Lessons of the episode where Jake almost lost himself and what it teaches. Let's figure out what we get into, no cap.
Jake wakes up in a world where everything is him. And at first, it feels like—
Oh, y'all know about Adventure Time? Chat, y'all know about Adventure Time? What y'all know about Adventure Time? Come on, grab your friends, go to very distant ends. Jake the dog and Finn the human, fun will never end. It's Adventure Time. No cap. Okay, thank good. That was gonna kill me, bro. If I could have remembered that, that was gonna kill me, bro. Oh my gosh, thank goodness, bro. Wait, let me start this over.
Jake wakes up in a world where everything is him. And at first, it feels like paradise.
Nice.
But comfort left unchecked can rot the soul. This is the story of how Jake almost lost himself by living in a world too easy to love.
Right.
Jake's day starts off simple.
I really want to learn this lesson because I am on record saying that if the world were full of people like me and all of my flaws, I would love to live there. And that's not because I'm a narcissistic person. That's because I love myself. Like, I think I'm cool as hell. And the problems, I'm super empathetic. I'm kind, I'm caring. I don't get mad easy. I'm like, damn, if I was surrounded by 40 versions of me, I think that I would genuinely love them niggas. So I'm trying to learn this lesson right here. I'm not gonna cap.
He's lounging on the couch, lazily
The world will be cooked if everyone was you. Okay.
knitting. It's peaceful until a tiny green fly lands on his head. Except it's not a fly, it's Magic Man.
The waffle doll shall fall, lest you eat the yellow dough.
And then he stabs Jake in the head with a syringe. No explanation, no punchline, just one of Magic Man's magical lessons.
Because this day, a magical life lesson comes to you.
Now, this episode has been interpreted in countless ways.
Okay.
As an existential nightmare, as an environmental allegory,
right,
even as surreal psychological horror. But for me, it's something else entirely.
Talk to me.
It's confronting, it's beautiful, it's deeply human. And it's one of the most unexpected tearful goodbyes in modern animation. Allow me to explain by recap.
I also don't know how they animated this episode. I think about this often. The animation in this episode is crazy, man.
The episode. After Magic Man injected Jake with something, he sent the shape-shifting dog into a deep sleep to wander a landscape made entirely of himself. Jake gasps. And then he wakes up somewhere new. At first glance, it seems peaceful, yet horrifying.
Everything's made of me.
And everything Jake imagines appears.
I bet there's like a cool city or something around here.
It looks like a normal city here. There are sidewalks, apartment buildings, crosswalks, people walking around doing people things, all greeting Jake.
Hi. Oh, hi.
Except these aren't people. They're all Jake. And for a dog like Jake, that sounds like heaven.
Man.
To a dog like Stanley, that sounds fantastic. I'm not seeing the problem yet, man. This sounds beautiful, bruh.
And this place is awesome.
But then the first signs of the tearful goodbye starts when Goose shows up.
Your favorite song is the one that they played in the last episode? That's ball knowledge. You have great taste.
Hey, is that Jake?
Hey there.
Come on, man. It's Goose. Your best friend, Goose.
Okay.
Because Jake and Goose do know each other. They've been best friends for 14 years.
Okay.
Just not on Adventure Time. The voice actor of Jake, John DiMaggio, is also the voice actor.
I did not know that's what Jake looked like. See, Jake's one of those characters to me that he's like black. You know, I don't know why. I think it's because he got sold to him. Jake to me has always been like a nigga. I ain't gonna cap. So this just doesn't fit my description. So I'm gonna ignore this information.
Of Bender in Futurama.
Okay.
And the voice actor of Fry, Billy West, is Goose right now in Adventure Time.
Okay.
Now in Futurama, they were inseparable. It's why Goose says,
Oh, Jake, you big goof. How long's it been? 2, 3 years?
He's not just talking about in-universe time, he's talking to us, because this episode aired just over 2 years after Futurama was cancelled. And what better way to say goodbye than with one last party?
Come on, let's get you home. Everybody's waiting for you at the party.
Party?
No, party!
Goose laughs and drags him along, like they've done this 100 times before. The place he takes him to? It's not just a party, it's a celebration of Jake. Everyone in the room, every single guest, is Jake. There's a fountain of Jake holding a coin with Princess Bubblegum on it. There's paintings of him, and him with his parents. The DJ? Jake. The crowd? Jake. The snacks? They're Jake too. And Jake? He just leans into it. He doesn't ask questions, he doesn't panic, he laughs, he smiles. He feels right at home.
Do it again, Goose.
Boy, if I was to do that, I would get banned off Twitch. Man, that'd be the last day y'all heard from Stanley Live, Stanley Animation, man. This man just clapped nuts. I ain't
He
gonna
feels
lie.
right at home.
Do it again.
You do it. What are y'all? Yo.
Again, Goose.
Because why wouldn't he? Everything is easy here. Everyone is friendly. Nothing is unfamiliar. This world is built entirely out of Jake.
This man
and
Trey,
Jake
man.
likes Jake. At least at first. Because here's the thing. This episode isn't really about Jake being trapped in an existential nightmare. It's about him being tempted. Tempted by comfort, by sameness, by a world that never challenges him. That's the brilliance of Magic Man's magic. He didn't build a prison, he built a paradise. And the most dangerous part? Jake doesn't want to leave. And the truth is, most of us wouldn't either. It's easy to stay where things...
I would not want to leave. I'm not gonna lie. Bro, all things considered, I would not want to leave. I want to be right there. What you talking about? The worst part about a universe ran by me is that there would be no feet rubs. I hate feet. I hate feet more than that you hate feet. I hate feet more than somebody at a Travis Scott concert. My condolences to the victims. I'm sorry for that joke. That was crazy.
familiar, where you're never questioned, where you never have to ask who you are, because everything around you is already answering for you. But that's not living. That's forgetting. Forgetting what it means to grow, to ache, to change. And Jake, he's not just drifting anymore, he's dissolving quietly, painlessly, into the very idea of himself. Because when everything around you is comfort, you stop noticing how far you've faded. So if you've ever felt yourself slowly disappearing, not all at once, but moment by moment, day by day, Jake is about to show you what it takes to come back, and what you'll have to leave behind to do it.
Right. Dang, this is actually turning out to be a motivational message. I love it.
Crack of Jake's comfort zone doesn't come from within. It shakes the ground beneath his feet. Jake quakes, they call them. Sudden tremors that ripple through the city of Jake. Buildings shake, streets warp. But no one panics, not even Goose. He just brushes it off.
What is that?
Oh, that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
But
Do not,
it doesn't
don't.
feel
No, that would have
normal.
made me scared.
Not to Jake. Something's off.
Okay.
And then he realizes he's hungry. Really hungry. Goose offers him nachos, but when Jake goes to eat them...
All right! Ow! Something's wrong, Goose. Jakey can't eat any of these nachos. But Jakey needs nachos!
They're all made of Jake. Everything in this world is. And no matter how good they look, no matter how cheesy they are, they're not really food.
Right.
They're him.
On some Sword Art Online stuff, when they got stuck inside of, this is ball knowledge, when they got stuck inside of the gear and they would eat inside of the world to survive, their main bodies in real life would need real food. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's when Jake starts to understand this world can't feed him because it's not real. It's familiar. It's easy. But it's empty. The second crack comes with the sea urchin, or Tinny Tim. It scurries up and tells Jake,
Mr. Jake! Mr. Jake! Mr. Jake, the mayor wants to see you straight away.
Jake follows it to the mayor, which of course is Zap Brannigan, but in here he's a literal version of Jake in a top hat.
Now look, we're at Orange Alert here.
Below us are gathered the city's top mines.
Oh,
He's in
wow.
a bit of trouble there. And the top mines made one thing clear. There's something going on with the world they're living in since Jake arrived. And it's bad.
And they've noticed that our seismographic troubles have increased exponentially since your arrival.
Luckily, Jake's got it figured out. He says the word, omelette. The world shakes. He's the cause of the quakes, obviously. And worse, he's also the cure. Eric Adamkinson, or Professor Farnsworth, lays it out plainly.
If Jake leaves, that would mean the utter destruction of our world. I believe that Jake...
The Jake people see
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not pausing to read that chat. I'm an L reader, bro. Come on, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
only one option left.
We should imprison Jake immediately.
No
Imprison
hesitation,
Jake?
no discussion. And suddenly, Jake, the guy who made everything here possible, is locked away. But maybe that's the point.
By himself.
I think what Adventure Time is symbolizing here is the way others around you could keep you
Go back and read it, bro. Fine. If Jake leaves, that would mean the utter destruction of our world. I believe that Jake is an extra-dimensional being, a glob, if you will, whose psychic field holds our world together. If he leaves, his flesh will reconfigure, and everything and everyone here will disappear completely. I can't believe I was forced to read that.
I think what Adventure Time is symbolizing here is the way others around you could keep you small in life. If you start working on yourself to become the best version of you out there, people around
let
you
'em know,
hate to
TB.
see it. Not because they're evil, but because your growth reminds them of their stagnation. They say they support you, but they want you small, predictable, safe. So instead of encouraging you, they hold you in place. Because seeing you move forward means facing what they've chosen not to do. But there is always a way out. Just like Eric, who, with all of his theories, thinks he's found a way out. He'll journey to Jake's glob worlds to appease Jake's appetite with food that isn't made out of him and save everyone.
Whoa.
But what he finds is not what he expected.
Almighty Jake Globs, I beseech your aid. Do you have bagels? No! Oh, I thought you'd be beautiful.
Now, in all the
Imagine being so chopped when you're eating that you brought somebody to their knees and crying when they saw you. Oh my gosh. End me, delete me.
existential nightmare theories, people have speculated that Finn is supposed to represent Cthulhu, but I think it's something more personal. Ready? It's Zoidberg. The last nod to a show both Billy and John didn't want to say a tearful goodbye to just yet, but they had to come to terms with it, just like Eric Adamkinson has to come to terms with his god not being beautiful.
But you're not.
Wow, this episode is dummy Futurama coded. That's crazy.
You're hideous! Hideous!
This is something
Yeah.
he can't comprehend,
Yeah.
and he literally dissolves under the crushing weight of his consciousness. But the real heartbreak, that comes next, as this still isn't the tearful goodbye the show truly deserved. That comes moments later, when we see Jake laying in his cell, alone, hungry, silent. The world he created is cracking under the weight of what it's missing. Challenge, change, reality.
Food.
That's when Goose returns.
Y'all can't see that. Let
That's
me move
when
my camera
Goose
for y'all.
returns.
Hold on.
Hey, you're hilarious.
And in true Futurama fashion, Goose bends the bars the same way Bender would have bent anything in Futurama.
Aww.
Goose?
Go.
Jake
Aww.
hesitates.
But what if Eric Adamkinson is right? What if you and all the J-peeps disappear and I can't bring you back?
If he leaves, this world is gone. But Goose doesn't sugarcoat it. He slaps Jake across the face.
Go eat, Jake.
Because Goose knows, real growth requires letting go, even if it means losing what feels like home. Goose symbolizes Jake's wake-up call, that it's okay to move on and step out of that comfort zone, even
Nah,
if it
low-key,
feels
listen,
like
Chad,
it's
this is
at
kinda
the
deep.
expense of the others around you. So that's what Jake does. He takes a huge breath, steps out of his cell, and stretches straight up, with Goose waving his final goodbyes from the ground. As Jake grows taller, Jake people in the city get pulled into the ground, and then the city gets pulled in. The world, the comfort, the illusion begins to fade. Not in violence, not in anger, but in peace. Jake wakes up in the tree fort.
Jake?
What's going on, man? Feeling okay?
Just getting a snack, Goose. Just getting a snack.
And that's the tearful goodbye. Not just to Goose, not just to Futurama, but to the
Only thing I would have changed, it would have hit harder if he was eating a slice of pizza, because a Fry loves like pizza.
version of yourself you built out of comfort, the version that never had to change. Jake wakes up, the beans are bland, the world is quiet again, and yet he is not the same, because he left something behind, and he brought something back. You see, the comfort didn't disappear. The laughter, the jowls, the friends, they didn't vanish when the dream faded. They became a part of him. Quite literally, they were absorbed into him again. That's the thing we never really talk about when it comes to moving on. It feels like you have to leave everything behind. But you don't. You take it with you. Every version of yourself, every moment you've clung to, every inside joke, every time you felt safe. They fold into you like memories, like layers of warmth beneath your skin. Not to trap you, but to shape you. You didn't lose them. You grew around them. And that is how you say goodbye. Not with denial, not with resistance, but with gratitude. Because they were never meant to stay. They were meant to carry you here. And now it's your turn to go further. So when you finally step out of that comfort zone, when you stretch upward like Jake did, you don't leave your past behind. You carry it inside you. That goofy version of yourself, that safe little world, those voices that cheered you on, they're still with you, but they no longer define you. They freed you. That's the lesson Magic Man left behind.
Dang.
Buried under a cryptic rhyme and a surreal dreamscape, a quiet truth. Growth means letting go, but never forgetting what made you. If you want,
If I wasn't on stream right now, I'd be crying. I'm not gonna lie. The thing is, like, a lot of this, I know a lot of this isn't necessarily the craziest concept in the world, because I agree with everything that he's saying. It's the fact of like how much this could expand past what he's referencing in like growth. It's just because like while he was saying like the experiences that you take with you are part of you and you carry them, I feel like a lot of the time when people think about experiences that they carry, they usually allude it to emotional trauma. You get what I'm saying? Like if you ask somebody about like their ex, for example, right, they're gonna say all the negative things about it, even if there was positive things like during the relationship and things like that. That's why you also have to monitor what situations you put yourself in, because regardless of how you leave that or how you feel, everything that happened in those scenarios genuinely attach to you as a person. They don't leave you when you grow. They're all part of like your journey. And the reason I was saying I would be crying if I wasn't on stream is because that don't have me thinking about my ex, chat. I'm not gonna lie. Because it's like, although we ended in probably the worst fashion possible, there was so many like good parts about it too that I took away from it. And this just puts that at the forefront. Like obviously the horrible parts are the horrible parts, and nobody's gonna go back for the horrible parts. But that doesn't mean that there wasn't fantastic parts as well. And that was what was hitting me. I was like, dang, this nigga is speaking right now. So when I got to like the end of the video, that's why you didn't hear me talking. I was just like, dang, he really speaking right now. No cap. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Comment twice. It helps me in the algorithm. Type in SXY to find me in Yo's collab channel. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Goodbye. Peace.